Hey, what's up? How you doing out there? This is Tony from Six String Corner, and glad for you all to stop by. If you're watching live, if you're watching later, thank you for stopping by too. I do appreciate it. You are watching in the future from when I'm doing this, and I'm glad to have you around. I'm going to show you a couple of Rush songs. Woo! Yes. All right. Yes, that's my favorite band. That's what I play. That's what I do. And so I'm here to show you a few songs that hopefully you guys will be able to learn. So the conception is that I was going to say misconception, not misconception, because the Rush songs in general are very difficult to play. However, there are Rush songs that you are able to play. I think people can play if you try hard enough to learn it. You will actually find that you can actually accomplish a few tunes that will you can play. So maybe you can't play Hemispheres, maybe you can't play La Villa Strangiato. Right? Yes. Look, I have trouble playing those sometimes. Those aren't the easiest songs to do, but there are some tunes that you can make happen. Now, I said on this thing part 2, if you saw the subject matter, because there was some time ago. You'd have to look earlier on my YouTube channel. I did do a couple of easy Rush songs, part 1, and I did Working Man and I did Fly By Night. Those are 2 songs that are relatively easy, and you're going to find, if you do want to learn Rush tunes, if you haven't tried this already, is that going to the older songs, going to the older albums, and I'm speaking mostly about the first, second, part of some of Caress of Steel, the third one, and some of obviously 2112. There are songs in there that you can play. If you're still kind of early on or you're in the middle, you haven't quite gotten that, you're quite there yet on that expertise, but man, I'd really love to play some tunes by Rush, man. Just a second, play them. So if you're watching this later, I will put a thing somewhere above, I don't know which side it's going to be on, but that'll be a link to the first part where I had Working Man and Fly By Night. So we went into that a little bit. So in this video here, I'm going to go over 2 songs, one from the first album. We're going to hit the cover of this one first, which is In the Mood, which I just played there a little bit of. And the second one is the song that actually got me into Rush, actually including the overture before it was Temples of Syrinx. Actually, it's not. If you have a knowledge of basic power chords and some bar chords, you should be able to play Temples of Syrinx. Okay, so you can say, hey, I can play Temples of Syrinx. I can play something out of 2112. Wouldn't that be really cool? So I'm going to go over that stuff here real quickly for you. Now, there's no solo in Temples of Syrinx. There is a solo in the Mood. I'm not going to cover that here today because I'm a little short on the time. So if you do want to learn the solo, I can show that too in another lesson. I certainly could do that, or I'll just make a separate YouTube video on it. I'm showing you how to play the solo from the studio album. You know how Alex is. If you know Alex, he changes stuff from here and there. He always changes stuff. Plays it one way and then he'll play it a different way the next time. So it's either or works. as far as playing Alex, but I'll give you the basics of that solo. But we'll save that for another video. Today, I'm just going to give you the basics on how to play this song. And now, down below in the description on YouTube, and I think it's on Facebook as well, down there in the link, I do have a link to the tab library, 16-corner tab library. So in that tab library is all kinds of tons of songs. You will find Temples of Syrinx, and by tonight when I'm done with this video, I haven't finished the tab yet for In the Mood. So it's not there yet, but it will be. If you're watching live, it'll be there afterwards. If you're watching later, go ahead and click that link. It is in there. You can grab In the Mood, and I'll give you the tabs to learning just the basic parts of the song. And that's all we're going to do today. That's all I have really time for, and probably for many, that's probably good enough to work on. I mean, if I don't throw you too much stuff, right, it's going to be kind of overwhelming. So we're going to go over these two songs. We're going to start with In the Mood, and then we're going to go into, then we're going to do Temples of Syrinx. I'm just going to do Temples of Syrinx, not going to do Overture. Overture's got a lot more in there. So if you want to learn Overture, let me know. Put a link here or put a comment, whatever. I'll get to Overture, and I'll show you that whole part, that whole song. Maybe I'll make a separate video. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's get on with it, all right? Let's get to it. So we're going to start with In the Mood. Now, the sounds that I'm using, the amp, I don't know what amps you have, but if you have amp modeling or if you have a profiler like a Kemper or something like that, just the setup is really simple. It's not like later years when he had all kinds of crazy stuff. So this is really pretty basic as basic can be. Now, what I'm using a Marshall profiler, but the amp I'm using is a Marshall. I'm using a Silver Jubilee. I don't think he used them back then. I don't know if they were around then. He probably had a JMP or something. But anyway, use a Marshall type sound, something that can get you a good crunch and got just kind of gets into your face. I am using a tube screamer, an overdrive to kind of add a little bit of beef to it. That's really all I'm using. So for both songs too, by the way, this is either or. Now on the first album, In the Mood, you do hear a little bit of a phase shifter in there that he sometimes will add. I occasionally will do that when I'm playing live, but I found that a lot of times what he did live later years, he didn't go with the phase. It was just straight ahead, just in your face. And really, that's all both of these songs really are. It's just in your face, rock and roll, here we go, and that's it. No complication, no nothing. All right, so for your setup, that's what you're going to want. Something Marshall. It doesn't have to be a Marshall. I think he used Marshalls back then. I'm pretty sure he had a Marshall for both of these. I know he used different amps. I know he had a twin reverb and something else in there. But if you go with the Marshall, you're good. And then, like I said, a tube screamer or some basic overdrive. Don't go with distortion pedal. Use a little bit of that amp distortion and let the overdrive just kind of add a little bit to it. And if later on, if you do want to learn the solo to In the Mood, it's really using that overdrive and then just put a boost in there and you're good. All right, so that's a quick rundown. I am using my hollow body here because I believe that's what he used on both albums. I'm pretty sure that's what he used. So I'm using a Zappaphone 335, but something like that. You don't have to use a hollow body. Play anything. Seriously, if you got a Strat, play a Strat. It doesn't really matter. Just have fun with it. I'm just letting you know what I'm using. I'm in a Rush tribute band, Animation Tribute to Rush. I know this is on my animation Facebook page, so those of you who are watching know that already. But there's other channels this is going to. It's letting you know that's what I'm in. So Animation Tribute to Rush, we used to play before COVID. We used to play on a Rush tune. So who knows what the future lies? I don't know what's going on right now. So we're just going to have fun today. We're going to enjoy this for this moment. All right, so let's get to it. Let me stop talking. Let's go to In the Mood. Now I'm going to bring the camera up close, and I'm going to primarily show the left hand for you here. So this is what we're going to dive into. And then I'll bring my hand out, even though I'm playing it on the bridge, I'll bring my hand up if you want to see how I'm picking it. All right. So because I want to make sure I get a real good close up. Just remember that when you are playing it, both songs, the right hand normally will be right here. So you want to make sure that the heel of the hand is anchored somewhere to the top part of the bridge. And this is how my bridge looks like, whatever that is where the saddles are at. That's where you kind of want it. Use your wrist to make that happen, all right, for the chords. So, but I am going to bring it forward because I want to show almost the entire thing on the left hand. Okay, I'm also going to clean up the channel a little bit just so you have it. So you don't have this distortion going through. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get on with it. Let's go to in the mood. Now, in the mood is going to start here on an A chord. All right, there's going to be a lot of this 2-string barring here for the song, for the main riff. All right, let me just show it to you, the A part of it. There's an A part and there's a C part. All right, you'll know what I'm talking about that in a second. Let's start with the A part. So, excuse me. So the A part, we're just using power chords here, and we're going to go start with the A. All right, that's how it goes. All right, again, like I said, I'm just bringing this my pickup so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so it's an A chord, so you're going to play the A power chord first. So that's these 3 strings right here. Hold that finger flat. All right, and then the ring finger is going to do some barring here between the 5th and the 4th fret. So, oh, I'm sorry. Before that, we're going to go to the 4th fret. All right, and so it's these middle strings. All right, and then the next part, you're going to actually bar with your middle finger on the 3rd fret, A and D string, and then you're going to hammer on a bar with the ring finger. Now, this, for some of you, this might be the hardest part of the song. So, all right, this may be the hardest part, but hey, you know what? We want to get better. If you don't know how to do this, this is great to work on. So recap 2 times, 4th fret, and then we're going to go on the 2nd and 3rd fret on the A and the D string. And you're going to hammer that on from the middle finger. So you pick that one, and then you're going to go like that. So, sorry. And then you're going to come back to the A. I'm focusing mostly on when I come back here, I'm focusing on the middle 2 strings here when I got my pointer finger down. So, and then back to the 4th fret, middle 2 strings, and back to the 2nd fret on the 2 middle strings there. Okay, so let me take that through really super slow. All right, here we go. All right, now you're going to do a slide technique here. So you're going to take the ring finger, go up to the 5th fret, middle 2 strings, all right, and you're going to slide down to the 4th fret. All right, now, again, some of you, this might be a little bit of a challenge. Good. You want to get better in guitar, you got to do something that's going to challenge you. If you already can do this, this should be no problem for you. So you want to slide this ring finger, and you want to slide down to the 4th fret. Now, just a sidebar here, okay? When I'm playing this, all right, just a quick note on how the rest of my hand looks, because what you're doing back here is going to matter. If you're flopping around your thumb and your wrist here, it's going to be difficult. So what you want to do for this A part, and later when I get to the C part, it's going to look a little tiny bit different. But on the A part, notice how I'm grabbing the neck here with my thumb up here on the top. And I'm grabbing it here. My thumb isn't way up here. My wrist isn't way up here. So the thumb is here. I'm just sort of grabbing real quick like this. All right, just kind of following the curve, the back curve of that the guitar neck. All right, so what you do is try to keep it there. All right, notice I'm just I'm moving a little bit, but basically I'm holding this thumb static here, and the thumb is, the wrist is somewhat bent down. Please don't do this with your wrist, okay? That's not going. That's no good. No gooda. All right. So keep your thumb up here, and that will make this riff a lot harder to execute, especially when you've got to do this slide. You want to make sure you got some support behind you here. If you're not doing that, it gets a little bit difficult. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So we go do the slide, and you're going to go back to the 2nd fret. Pick that, slide to the 4th fret. You're not going to pick the 4th fret. All right, and then you're going to go to the 2nd fret. So, and then 4th fret. All right, 4th on the middle 2, 2nd fret, middle 2, and then the ring finger will press on the 4th fret on the A and the D string here. string 4 and string 5. All right, so let me take that second half there, slide it. So you can go slide. All right, and we change it there, and then you repeat, repeat and rinse. Do it again. Here's your slide. All right, so that's basically going to repeat. Now the song, if you know the song, it's there's an intro part, and then Getty comes in and said, "Hey, baby." It's really interesting how these lyrics in the first album, when Neil came in, how the lyrics changed, right? So so that's the first part of it, of that really, really cool riff. Then what it does is it goes up to the C part. So that was the A part. So the C part is we're going to play a C power chord, and it's going to be da 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 da. All right. So after you play this, and that's how it da 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 da. You notice here that da da. All right, I did a bit of a pause in there. I'm just kind of releasing pressure on these fingers, keeping them there, just releasing it, and that's called a rest. That's sort of a bit of mini break. All right, now we're going to do that little slide thing after that. That we did in the A, only we're going to do it in a different place. We're going to go up here on what is that? 6th fret, right? All right, again, middle 2 strings. You're going to slide from 6 to 5, and then to 3, and then back to 5, 3, and then back to 5. And that last one here is on these lower 2 strings right here, on string 4 and 5. So you got to move your hand around just a little bit. Now, if you watch the back of my hands moving a little bit more because of the different positionings I have here. So I'm going to... Now, when I play this chord, back of my hand is down like this. So I'm kind of keeping it there. I got to move it over a little bit to make that slide and then come back. All right. So my hand position does change a little bit when I'm playing that C power chord. Remember that when we get to Temples of Syrinx, because you got to do something very, very similar to all this. Okay. It's interesting. A lot of the same chords are being used for this. So you only play that once, right? So bam, bam, ba da 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 ba da. All right. And then, so that puts that's the cool part, right? That's the fun part. This is just so much fun to play. So, oh dear, I showed you the wrong, oh my gosh. I showed you the wrong slide. It's over here. Okay. Oh gosh. All right. Scratch, if I could just kind of black out the last couple minutes there. All right, so I can't believe I did this. All right, so the C is right. All right, that slide does work, although it's not coming from here. You got to go up 2 frets. Oh dear. 8, 7, and 5. And then you're going to put this ring finger down here on the 7th fret here on string 4 and 5. Oh dear. All right, so ba ba da da da. All right, so same riff. You're just going to do everything 2 frets up. Scratch that part. Oh gosh. All right. Anyway, so you only do that once, and then you're going to play this. You're going to play this D. All right, just straight ahead, rock and roll. You're going to play this D power chord just like this, and then down to an A. All right, and then you're going to go to a G, and all that is low note on the G. So I'm playing the G like this. You can play it however you really want. Doesn't really matter. So you can do low note, and then the top 4 strings. And then there's a little chromatic run. Bum, bum, right here. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so low note. We're playing the E major here. And then just let it ring out. Okay? All right, so that in essence is how the song is played with the singing going on through the verse. Like I said, strike that one part. It was kind of ugly. So it. And remember, that A you're going to repeat a couple of times, right? And then you come out to the C. Oh, sorry. All right. The only other part now is the chorus. The chorus is really, really super easy. So I'm going to breeze through this one and like see if it's going to take me 2 minutes to show you the whole part. It's a hey, baby, it's a quarter to 8. I feel I'm in them. All right, so it's just D, A, G, A, D, D, A, E major, A, D, 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 A, G, A, and then you close it out with just like you did at the end of the verse. Wait. Okay, and depending on where you're at in the song, you'll either repeat that or you go right back to the next verse. Okay, that's it for In the Mood. There ain't much else to it. When the solo goes on, you're kind of playing the verse, the chorus, and that's it. So if you got your power chords down, the only challenge for some of you may just, like I said, will be the slide, a little bit of slide, or a little bit of have a double hammer on with the chord here, with the hammer on your hammer bar chord, if you will. So, and that is how In the Mood is played. Okay, so again, if you're watching live, the tab will be in shortly. It won't be in right just yet, but I will have it in probably by tomorrow, I think. And then so anyway, let's move on. And if you're watching afterwards, you're seeing this later. All right, so now let's go to Temples of Syrinx. All right. Temples of Syrinx, once you get off of the overture, once you get past the overture, there's and the me. Okay, I don't even know is that part of Temples or is that part of overture. Somebody let me know. Let me just show you that one really quick, if you want. I know that I don't think this is part of Temples, but it would get you started. So you're playing a C, and then you slide that C shape up 2 frets, and then C, and then just drop down the middle finger to the 2nd fret, to an A minor. Okay? All right, now, Temples of Syrinx. Here's your chords, right? You're going to go from E to A, and I'm talking power. When I say the chord, I'm going to say that the chord, it's power chord. So E to A, C to G, C to G. So D. So now this is just how I like to do it. I know you can play the E. There's an E power chord here, A power chord, C power chord, G power chord, and a D power chord. When I play this, I like playing the power chord like this. It just, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of goofy, but it flows better for me. So I play the power chord, the E, like this, with these 2 fingers here, and then drop down to my A finger. A finger and my pointer finger. Rather than, you can go that way too if you can move your finger fast, but I don't know, this just seems to flow better for me. All right, and then all right, so C, G, up to D. All right, it's all power chords, right? So really it can be just 2 notes. When I play the power chords, I like adding this little finger. So I just add it. It's still just a 2-note chord. It's the same. This note is the same as this one. It's just higher up. So it just fills out that sound a little bit better. All right. So you're gonna go bum ba da dum bum ba da da to A to E, E to A, E to A, C G, C G D. Back to it again. A C A E. E A E A. So bum bum ba bum. So I do an up down on that A. There's that G. I do an up down on the G on my strum, and then to D, and then go back. Okay, and I stand and the second time I end on the G. Go back. Back to the D. All right, so that's essentially how that part goes. It's just simply E, A, C, G, and a D in there. So three, four. And then there's a little cool riff. All right, so that is open E, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open A, E, G, which is the 3rd fret again, and then open E. So, wait. Sorry, that's a different part. So that's in the overture. So here. All right. So that connects now. It's going to be the chorus. I'm going to call what we just did. That's the verse, and then. All right, and then we are the priests, the Temples of Syrinx. You're using the B minor, an A major, and a G major. Now here you're going to probably want to use the bar chords. It's done differently live. The studio version, it sounds like there's definitely a couple of guitars that are tracked in there. So when I play this live, because I like that little, he does this little on that B minor. So I actually play the B minor up here. And I just run my hand out here because I want to get this on the upbeat. All right? Boom, bop, bop, down, up. So I'm playing the lower chords here, and then upper chords is 2 times. All right, and then go drop down to the G major. I'm going to play a G major chord. All right. So I'm playing B minor, down, up, down, up, down, A, up, and then the B here, I'm just going to bow. I do like a little bit of a slide here. I don't even know if he does that. I don't know. I do it live. It just feels right. And then you play this riff. And to get to that B minor, when you play this lick, that open E gives you a chance to land on that B minor. Now, if you're working on your bar chords, you take this one slow, right? Because you got to land it really quick. So that's fraction of a time there, that one beat, that one part of a beat, that open E is, I'm getting my hand up here to play that B minor. And then I play one time on that B minor. All right, and that's in a sense, that's your, I guess, chorus, right? So, and then we got one more part. We got this little instrumental section. So after you play so here you go. I'm going to show you the pick. right, so that part there is just a little interlude that gets you back to the verse. All we're doing here is we're going from A. It's kind of a little bit of a slide in there too. And then you play this D power chord and then stop. And how I do that when I'm playing, I play that D, I just sort of release pressure on my left hand and I drop my right hand down on the strings. This is all happening very fast. Bon, da, 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 da. So you're just going to play. So see that, bon, da, da. So that on that B, you're going an up and down motion here. And then, oh, by the way, there is a stop there. And then D, and do this again. And then G, do the same thing, stop. So catch where those stops are at. So stop, another stop there, G. And then let that G ring out, okay? So when after you finish the first chorus, you let that ring out, and then there's little, and you just go right back to the verse and the chorus. Now, of course, if you're going to do it off the live version, like, my favorite is the R30 version, and I've done this live, and I swear I think just about every show that we've done this, everybody does the same thing. You skip the D, right? But this is only if you have a crowd, right? Hey, right? Hey. So you're just doing the A to the B. If you're going to do a live version, if you're going to play out, or you're going to be in a band, or just play in front of people and who are Rush nerds, they're going to do it. They're going to probably do it. I know I would. So you go, hey, hey. All right. So you can skip those if you want, if you're having a little bit of fun with it. But those are the chords if you're going to play it off that studio album. All right. Anyway, you go back to the verse, you go back to the chorus, you go back to dun 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 dun, and then when you come back to that G, instead of going, you're not gonna do that little build anymore. Just let it ring out. All right, and then it's gonna be. And what that is a G major, an F sharp major bar chord, and then a B minor. And the way I'm picking that, it's pretty simple here. On the G, let me give you a little close up there. So on the G, and then on the F, we just drop down. And then a B minor, you just sort of let it roll out. Make sure if you've got your distortion or whatever, you want to get that really super clean. So kick that distortion off, go to a clean channel, whatever it is, and just play that little part there. Just very simple. If you want to put a phaser on there, go ahead. It can go either way. Be like this here, phaser. Okay. And there you go. And the bar chords getting a little bit difficult there. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just play the top part of that bar chord. Let's start again. And then B. B, you got to play the power chord. You stuck with it. All right, folks. I told you, you got a couple of easy Rush songs. So if your skill level... Ooh, a little blurry. There we go, back. So your skill level is, basically power chords and some sort of bar chords. These are two songs you can play. In the mood, like as you saw, is a little bit of sliding, some hammer-ons a little bit here and there, but it's definitely doable. Like I said, you want a tough Rush, you go to the Strangiato or Jacob's Ladder. That'll get you going. But so these are relatively easy. That's why I put easy in quotes on the subject matter, right? Because this is easy Rush song. Okay, this is easier than what they usually play. And then, yeah, so there you go. Have fun with that. And if anyone's interested in the solo in the mood, I could put a video on there on YouTube, and I'll make sure that goes on. Tabs are below. So the way that works is you go on down below in the description. You sign up for the link to the tab library. So yeah, you got to input some information. It's okay. I don't bite. And you just go in there and you'll see a list on my Google Drive of all these tabs. It's constantly being updated too, by the way. So I got all kinds of stuff in there from when I do videos, from my lessons. A lot of students want to learn different things. And so definitely some Rush stuff in there. And these are 2 songs that hopefully will work out really, really good for you. And yeah, so that's about it. So thanks a lot for joining me, and thanks a lot for sticking around. You know, I'll talk to you on the next lesson. And thanks for watching. And you guys all have a great day. Have a safe weekend. And catch you later. All right. So rock on.